This video is going to cover all things introducing the estimate costing screen. So it'll have some basic things like copying, moving, it'll look at statuses and how to use them. It'll have a look at searching, right through to exporting for your bill of materials. There's going to be quite a number of good things in this video, plus a bunch of tips and tricks as usual. So into my Build Exact account over here, first thing to touch on is once we're in the estimate costing screen, these all represent an individual category. So one thing that people definitely overlook at first is that if you click on it, it opens up, there are all the items. One thing I've had people in the past do is double click on it, which just opens and closes it. So just a single click's fine. As we get into each category, I'm going to now touch on the statuses and how to use them. So for me, this is really just a checklist. The starting point of my estimate is. So as I'm going through, I might go, hey, I've put some prices in, complete, done, and go to the next one. Hey, this doesn't require any skylights. So I might go to skylight and mark it as not required. The reason I do this is as I'm looking through it, I'm really just trying to get rid of all these little incomplete flags. I'm also trying to cover the fact that I don't really have a great memory, and day to day I'll kind of forget where I'm up to. So this for me is great and keeps me on top of kind of where I'm up to. Now into another few other points about this screen. With any of these categories or items, you can, if I close that one, you can grab the dots like so, drag it up and down, reorder things. So you can do that in the categories or in the items themselves. If you want to move things between categories, there's a different way of doing it. So like, let's say my frame items need to go into a different one. That's where I start using this tick box on the left to grab things and go, in my case, move down the bottom right, tell it where to move it to, and select it, move it, across they go. While I'm here, other things that are quite useful are if you are working on a template or you have your own template, you can pick things and copy them into the template this way. You can also click and select those items and say, show me the breakdown. And what that does is gives you a dollar figure total of the material, labor, etc. just on those items. If I cancel that, you can even do that by selecting multiple categories, and it has the same result. Another tip just on that same topic of seeing the breakdown of costs, anything that's blue in Build Exact, generally speaking, you can click on it. So the subtotal here is no exception. If you click here, it just assumes that you want the breakdown of the whole estimate, and hence you can get a figure to see, is labor roughly comparable to material, or am I spending a lot on subcontractors in this job? You can check that kind of stuff out. Awesome. Now, a couple of other points in here. One lesser known is that you can copy categories and copy items using this little kind of 2 bits of paper button. The reason you might do this is copying categories is particularly good if you're doing, say, like a duplex or apartments, and you want to do the whole estimate and then just copy it to make Windows, Unit 1, Windows Unit 2. That's really useful. Similarly, you can copy a category into a template. Again, back to the idea that if you've got this master template, you can continue to add to it from estimates. Continuing that same idea, we mentioned in another video when we're starting the estimate that you can start from a template. If you just want to grab the whole estimate and make that a template, that's done up the top here, where you can go create template from this estimate. While I'm in this box, this is also where you can set the status of the estimate. And the reason this is good is you can go, hey, it's final, or it's sent to the client, or it's in progress, etc. And much like the leads, this just breaks down your estimates by status, and you can filter them to say, today I'm only chasing up the sent ones that haven't responded yet, for example. Lovely. Back into here, on the idea of deleting things, personally I try not to, because I would rather have it there if I later turn around and I need that item back. but you can absolutely delete categories, delete items. One point, if you are going to delete a lot of things, is clicking delete pops up this confirmation message. It gets a little annoying if you go to delete a lot of things. So the tip here is to go edit, and this is what you'll need to do to make changes to it anyway, like adding quantities, searching items, etc. But once you're in this edit mode, you can delete a lot more quickly, and it gives you a safeguard as well, because once you save it, it confirms that deletion of everything. But if you go cancel, then it just undoes it, and back they come. Lovely. Moving on forward and kind of returning to the idea that you can click on anything that's blue. You can get a breakdown of item prices through the estimate costing screen like this. So I find that quite useful, specifically if I want to see the markup on particular items. Going down, down, down. As you would expect, you can add items, edit, save, delete. So this is just covering a common question where people get in here and go, hey, how do I add new stuff? You just go add item. Or if you're doing the same thing for the category, you use this top add category button up the top. And this video kind of links to itself quite a lot, but where we're talking about templates, if I'm in an estimate already and I want to add a category but from a template, I can do that. Equally, I can be in an estimate and import extra stuff from Excel. So there's a lot you can do here. If you take just a few key points away from this video, that's perfect. There's a lot of stuff that BuildExact can do in a number of different ways. Last 2 points. If you are in, let's say, a category and you add an item, let's just say tap. Depending on your settings, and most new accounts are set to do this, you'll get a pop-up showing the search results. Mine is off because that's my preference. Under the settings, you can go show catalog search results. So if I turn that back on, which it is now, you'll get to see what I'm talking about. So it's going to pop up with items from the catalog section. In new accounts, you'll generally have the sample catalogs, and if you go and add a supplier, naturally you'll get more results from here. The reason, honestly, I've turned mine off is I find that I just type things quickly and go to the next box, and I don't want to be always getting rid of that search box. So I just search when I need to search, and I use this Browse Catalogs button for that. On that, and I'll jump to a different screen just for a second. If you're finding that, hey, I've got other search results and my sample stuff is getting in the way of that, you can go to catalogs and turn this off, hide the catalogs. So that's just a worthwhile point to know. If you are loading your own information, or particularly if you've got supplier catalogs, the BuildExact ones kind of become a bit redundant. Now, lucky last, we get the question quite a lot, how do I get all this and export it? And while there's another video talking about prepare quote, which is the ideal way to make this stuff form into a client's quote, there are legit uses for wanting to export it from here. So you can go print categories, which just gives a summary of the categories here. Print categories and items gives all the categories with the corresponding items, and that's probably the closest thing to a bill of material or bill of quantities. You can print just the allowance items, which we haven't yet got into. There's another video talking solely around the PC/PS allowance button here. Even you can export to Excel. It all depends on what you're wanting to do with that data once you export it. Anyway, that's a bit of a catch-all, covering many bases kind of introduction to this screen. As always, any questions, let us know. And if there's any, hey, does your software do this? Odds on it probably does. So it's definitely worth asking us, and we can point you in the right direction. As always, let us know any questions. Have a good one.